Good morning. It's Thursday, February 9th, 2023. I'm Rock Daniels, and welcome to a new edition of Lexington Water Cooler News. So in weather today, a high is going to be 64 degrees, a low is going to be 37. There's going to be winds at 25 to 35 miles per hour. The sun's going to rise at 7:34 this morning, and it's going to set at 6:10 p.m. The Dow Jones dropped 207 points yesterday, while the nasdaq dropped 203 points. 30-year mortgage rates are up to about 6.42%, while the 10-year treasury bill is hovering right at 3.6. House Bill 162, or the Youth Mental Health Protection Act, has been filed in Kentucky to ban conversion therapy. The bill would prevent all licensed mental health providers from changing a minor's sexual orientation or gender identity. The Kentucky Coalition for Healthy Children, or KCHC, says conversion therapy is harmful and increases suicide rates. A study by the Trevor Project found 13% of LGBTQ plus youth underwent conversion therapy and had a higher rate of suicide attempts. The bill would also stop any agency that provides or refers minors to conversion therapy from receiving state funding. A bill has also been filed in the Kentucky State Senate to investigate misdirected payments from the Team Western Kentucky Tornado Relief Fund. The bill requires the Kentucky Public Protection Cabinet to provide a report of all relief funds created by the state during emergencies, and the reports must be submitted to the LRC, or Legislative Research Commission, annually. The bill is co-sponsored by 3 senators, and a separate bill is being drafted by a state representative to address the Tornado Relief Fund and other off-budget accounts held by the executive branch. The bill is expected to receive support by the entire Senate. Avelo Airlines will cease operations at Lexington's Bluegrass Airport due to low demand, and its last flight will be on February 21st. So customers with future bookings, you will be refunded. All right. This is a quick clarification of the LEXserv bill and the Kentucky American Water bill. The LEXserv bill in Lexington covers 3 city services: sewer, landfill, and water quality, and may be higher than your Kentucky American Water bill. The bill includes a water quality fee and a landfill fee, which are not based on the water bill. And high usage can lead to a different rate tier, resulting in a higher sewer portion of the bill. The Kentucky men's basketball team, of course, lost to Arkansas in a big game, 88-73, with Arkansas exploiting UK's weaknesses. Arkansas shot 62.7% from the field, the highest by a UK opponent in the Calipari era. The Wildcats are now 1-7 in Quad 1 games and 41st in the NCAA NET rankings, in a clear danger of not making the NCAA tournament. Despite their struggles against top teams, it is possible for Kentucky to make a run, but it remains to be seen if they can find a way to improve and change their fortunes. So under Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear's executive order, Kentuckians can now purchase medical marijuana. The governor has declared he will pardon individuals convicted of marijuana possession, provided they meet conditions laid out by the executive order, which includes the marijuana must be legally purchased in another state. It must be kept in an amount not exceeding 8 ounces. The user must have a certification from a licensed health care provider for one of the following conditions listed in the order. Despite the executive order, it is still illegal to buy, sell, or possess marijuana in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. So the state is also an employment at will state, meaning employers can fire employees for any reason that is not legal. There is nothing in the executive order that precludes getting certification from an online provider, but the provider must be licensed in Kentucky or the individual's jurisdiction. So a 29-year-old woman in Lexington, Kentucky was arrested after attempting to stab a man in the chest and then leading police on a 90-minute chase, during which she drove into a home and nearly hit first responders. She has been charged with attempted murder and multiple other crimes. U.S. Representative Morgan McGarvey of Louisville attended the first State of the Union address by the President of the United States and called the experience incredible. He praised President Joe Biden's speech, which he summarized as the State of the Union is strong, but work still needs to be done. McGarvey's Republican colleagues from Kentucky had a different view of the speech and criticized Biden's leadership. They expressed concerns about the U.S.-Mexican border and inflation. and Senator Rand Paul criticized the economic aspects of the speech. Paul tweeted that the first half of Biden's term has been a, quote, failure for Americans. The goal of House Bill 200, filed by Louisville Representative Ken Fleming, is to address the healthcare worker shortage in Kentucky. The bill, if passed, would establish the Kentucky Healthcare Workforce Investment Fund, a public-private partnership with at least 65% of the funds used for scholarships for students interested in the healthcare fields, and the remaining 35% for university and training centers to invest in faculty, equipment, and other assets. The bill has not been assigned to a committee for a hearing, and state funding would not be decided until 2024. In January, a federal raid of Justin's House of Bourbon, located in Lexington and in Louisville, was conducted and in connection with improper purchase and sale of rare bourbons. The raids are part of a multi-state investigation into the illegal sale and shipment of bourbon. Federal agents are also investigating counterfeit bourbon coming in from the Netherlands, but the store was not implicated in that counterfeiting. A new bill in Frankfort, Kentucky is proposing a change in the state's constitution that would allow public money to be used for private school tuition. If the bill passes, voters would decide in 2024 on the constitutional amendment. The bill aims to address a previous school choice law that was ruled unconstitutional by the Kentucky Supreme Court. Supporters of the bill argue that it will give families more access to educational opportunities, while opponents argue it will reduce funding for public schools. The bill would appear on the 2024 ballot if it passes both chambers. The GOP-controlled Kentucky State Senate passed legislation that would reduce the state's income tax from 4.5% to 4%, with the bill now going to the desk of Democratic Governor Andy Beshear. Republicans support the bill, saying that there are safeguards in place that would halt further income tax cuts in case of an economic downturn. The 5 Democrats who voted against the bill consider the tax cut inequitable, benefiting wealthy residents, while average Kentuckians see more of a tax burden through newly implemented sales taxes. Beshear has not explicitly said whether or not he plans to veto the bill, previously criticizing new sales taxes passed by the GOP-controlled legislature, though. Well, that does it today for Lexington Water Cooler News. Join me again tomorrow with all your latest news, weather, and sports. Be sure to smash that subscribe button so you can get this every day. So it's free of charge, sponsored by me, Rock Daniels, and Rock Daniels Construction Company. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day.